So I hope everybody is doing good. Okay, so I will be doing verbs today. As I remember, I have already done the lesson on dynamic verbs and stative verbs. There's one more kind of verb which we would cover it in today's lesson. So let's concentrate because this is something very important, because that is the one which we had discussed thus far, the dynamic and stative. It was comparatively easier because there was no as such hassle. We had two different categories, where in one category there were verbs those dynamic verbs, where action related verbs, where we get to see action happening, and at the same time the other kinds of verb where you cannot use ing forms with the stative verbs, where it is more about feelings, mental status. So where we are not at liberty to use the continuous forms of the tenses. However, today at times there are some verbs which can be used as dynamic as well as stative. So those verbs are categorized under the category of mixed verbs, and that is what we are going to cover. Okay, so let's learn it. Okay. Here, mixed verbs. Okay, now mixed verbs are those verbs which can be used as dynamic motion as well as stative. Okay, so it can be dynamic as well as stative. Now it depends on the use. Okay, you cannot have the same form of tenses for the dynamic and stative. Now let's take an example of a verb. Let's say have. Now have is a mixed verb. Let's make a sentence. Let's say I write I am having my tea. I'm having my tea. So here having is more to do with the action. It means the person is sipping tea from a teacup or whatever. So I'm having my tea. It is more of action. So it comes under dynamic form of verb have. Okay. However, if I write a sentence, let's say I have a car. I have a car. Now here it shows the status of the person, that the person has a car. So there is no action happening. So in this case, the verb have has been used as stative form of verb. So you can see the verb have has been used in both the context, having as well as have. So that's how you differentiate between the verb which is called to be the mixed verb and how you're going to use it as a dynamic as well as stative verb. Let's take one more example here. I'm rubbing it off. Let's rub it off. Okay. The second example, let's take look. So look can be used as dynamic as well as stative. Okay. For example, there is a child who is a little impatient and causing disturbance. So the teacher says, Sam, I am looking at you. So beware. I'm looking at you. Here, the teacher is doing some action, looking. She's looking, she's doing something, she's watching. So there, looking is more of a dynamic form of the verb look. It has been used as a dynamic verb. However, if the child is crying, then you can say the child looks. It's because of grammatic third person. You put s. The child looks, let's say, sad. So here you can see the word look shows the status of the child, that he is sad, looks sad. So it is the stative form of the verb look. So do you see how a verb can be used as dynamic as well as stative? So these kind of verbs are called stative verbs. Find out the list of stative verbs and let me know. And if you have any question, ask it in the comment section. All right, take care.